So this was the maximum height of the starter around 2 o'clock in the morning, and it's now 10 o'clock, and it has deflated for more than half of that height. Okay, so I think it's because the food of the yeast is starting to get depleted. There's not much food around to go around anymore, and that's why some of the yeast are starting to die. Same thing goes to this jar, which it has reached its maximum height up to around here this morning, early morning, but it has now come down. I knew this would happen, but can't use that and start baking at around 2 or 3 in the morning. So I'm going to use this to make a focaccia today. I already have 300 grams of flour. This one is doing quite well. And this is the thicker sourdough. I use less water on this one. And also here. Both of these has not depleted yet. I mean the plate deflated. So I guess I have to wait for another 10 hours and feed it tonight at 10 o'clock. Okay, so let's get started. This is the flour, the bread flour. I'm using a strong flour to make the focaccia, salt. And let's put the starter. See what happens. Doesn't smell sour yet, but it has that funky smell to it, which my nephews hate when they were growing up and I was doing this. They hate the smell. They hated the smell. Okay, so I was thinking maybe I just use one jar of starter, but what the heck. It's a flatbread anyway, so that's about maybe 200 grams, including the water or the liquid. You can start a new starter using this jar. Just add water and flour, and we will do that just for you to see what happens, because there are some yeast left in this jar. So let's mix. And I'm also going to use filtered water on this bread, and my topping is going to be caramelized onions, which I already did last night. It's a bit scraggly. This is only 300 grams and 3.5 grams of salt. No yeast added. only going to knead it until it gets to that semi-smooth stage and leave it for maybe half an hour. And the amount of water depends on how you like your bread. So I'm going to make it, probably do it a little on the sticky side. Okay, that's it. Barely 3 minutes in, and I'm going to leave it like that and cover it and come back to it after 20 or 30 minutes. This is the first kneading, and so you can do the Bertini system or method by folding and slapping, but let me just get a feel of the dough for now. And after 30 minutes, look, it's starting to form a gluten, which is what you like. So I'm thinking maybe I should make a loaf out of this instead of a focaccia. I think I'll do the focaccia after 5 days, since I have 2 extra sourdough that I'm making anyway. Okay, so that's the slap and the fold. I oiled my wooden board, so like that, like that. Okay, so I'm gonna leave it again and give it maybe 20 minutes of rest. I'm going to use the bowl to cover and leave it for now. It's I think this is ready for the oven, so I'm going to proof it in my Banneton. And I want large holes on my bread, so I'm going to overproof it because I want to eat it with some soup. So it's only 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and the dough is already nice. The gluten is well developed. Look at that. So I didn't even do that much kneading and slapping. So I'm going to spread some rice flour into my Banneton. And this is already pre-made ground rice flour. It's been quite a while before, this is the last time I used this. So, and I'm going to add a little bit, this is brown rice actually. I'm also going to add a little bit of flour just for good measure. Okay, still not bad because this is from last year. And I already have this paddle and greased or oiled parchment paper just in case. And I'm going to put the dough right there. So I hope it doesn't stick. Okay, so off the proof. And that's my first sourdough for 2025. But this is not exactly a sourdough just yet because this is just the discard that I'm using. It's barely 2 days and I'm using the discard from day 1.